Hello everybody. In this video, we will try to understand what happens when Rahu is in the ninth house of a horoscope. So this is one of the more dramatic placements we say in Vedic astrology. See, because the ninth house is the house of dharma basically, and it is the house of your higher wisdom, house of philosophy, and it represents the mutual relationship with your father. And also ninth house represents gurus, the teachers that you encounter in your life. And ninth house, very famously in Kali Yuga, it is really famous. This ninth house is very, very important because it represents long distance travel. And in the Kali Yuga, people think generally living in abroad, right? Especially people in Asia, they generally think living in some Western countries is one of the greatest things. And so this ninth house is really important in the age of Kali. And so it represents long distance travel and also fortune and past life blessings. How much of blessings you have from the past life, how much of it is carry forwarded to this particular life. So it represents your past life blessings. That is the most important thing. And the kind of spiritual beliefs you have, the spiritual belief system you have, that is also represented by the ninth house. So this is the most important house, is called as the house of luck, right? So now Rahu, what Rahu represents? Rahu is a shadowy planet. It's called Chaya Graha, that represents obsession, your illusions, your foreign elements, your materialistic behavior, and the kind of shortcuts you take in your life to achieve success. And of course Rahu is rebellious in nature, and then it is your unconventional thinking. So when Rahu enters when Rahu is present in the ninth house of a horoscope, it tends to disturb the traditional structures of faith you have, the traditional the belief system you have. But it also opens unique pathways for spiritual growth. That is also one of the most important things. Now, what happens when the shadowy planet, the karmic planet Rahu, is in the ninth house? First of all, if you think in terms of your struggle with your faith and religion, because ninth house is your belief system, right? See, imagine a student who grows up in a traditional religious family. Instead of following rituals blindly, he questions, because he has Rahu in the ninth house, so he doesn't believe the traditional religious system blindly, the traditional rituals or whatever. He doesn't want to follow them blindly. Then he questions, why do we do this particular puja? Why do we do this particular prayer? Why can't I connect to God in my own way? Why should I follow only this way? He would question. And also this questioning is basically the Rahu's energy. The person may reject the religion of their birth or adopt an unusual spiritual path also sometimes. Sometimes foreign philosophies or yoga he would adopt, or even atheism, right? He would become a kind of atheist, right? So let's take an example. It's something like a man born in an orthodox traditional family suddenly becomes fascinated with some other religion. Traditional, let us say he is born in a traditional Hindu family, but he would adopt, or he would be fascinated with Buddhism or New Age healing practices. He would adopt some other religion because his Rahu is in the ninth house. This is the belief system, the kind of an unconventional belief system or a foreign belief system he would adopt. So that is the behavior of Rahu in the ninth house. Or just think of Rahu as a kind of rebellious teenager in the school of religion, right? So the teacher means that the traditional teacher, the tradition, or you can say, says this is the truth, but Rahu, as Rahu is in the ninth house, he would say, okay, you're saying this is the truth, then prove it, right? So that is the behavior of Rahu in the ninth house. Then another important thing we can observe is issues with father or gurus, father kind of figures like gurus. So the ninth house represents the mutual relationship with father, and then it also represents your guides, your mentors, your gurus in your life. So Rahu here can cause a kind of distance or separation from father, a kind of emotional, if not physical, can be the both father and son would be present in the same house if the intensity is less, but still there is a kind of emotional separation or emotional distance. If it is much more intensified, Rahu in the ninth house, then it can be a kind of physical separation as also. So there would be some conflicts in ideology with father or teachers or gurus or mentors or guides. So a sense of not receiving proper guidance can be observed here. And then just imagine a boy respecting his father but never agrees with his way of living. He ends up finding mentorship outside his culture, maybe through a foreign professor or a spiritual guru abroad. Kind of energy you can feel when Rahu is in the ninth house with respect to his fathers or gurus. Then see, the father builds a road, let us say, then Rahu says that road is too narrow, I want to take the hidden jungle path instead, or I want to take some other path, I don't want to follow your path, my dear dad. So this kind of behavior, right, you can observe when Rahu is in the ninth house. Then see, I would say there would be some kind of obsession with foreign cultures. See, Rahu is connected with the foreign elements and a kind of exotic elements. So in the ninth house, the native often travels abroad for studies or work. So they may adopt foreign traditions or food, or even marry into another culture. Even the person would like to marry a girl from another culture, right? So let's say an Indian boy born in some Chennai or some place in North India like Uttar Pradesh, right, with Rahu in the ninth house. He would become obsessed with some Greek philosophy, studies in Athens, and later marries in a European woman, kind of, right? So it's something like, you just imagine a bee that flies past all the flowers in its own garden just to drink nectar from a rare flower in another country, right? So the person would be interested in foreign cultures. That's what I would like to say here. And as Rahu is present in the house of luck, that is the ninth house, there would be some kind of twists in luck and fortune as well. See, the ninth house is the house of fortune. In Vedic astrology, ninth house is called as the Bhagya Sthana. That means the house of fortune. So with Rahu in the ninth house, see, luck may come suddenly sometimes, but with some complications, of course. But the person may rise high through unconventional or risky paths. That is the best thing, because his energies are aligned in that way, in an unconventional, risky paths, right? And then rising through them. That is the energy of Rahu in the ninth house. So fortune is often tied to foreign connections or kind of unusual knowledge. So something like a man struggling in India suddenly moves to Canada, takes up a completely unrelated job, a surprising job, and becomes very wealthy. So this kind of pattern you can see when Rahu is in the ninth house. So fortune with Rahu is like a roller coaster, we say. It's something like, it's thrilling but never straight. It's not very straight and conventional. It's very, very unconventional and thrilling success, we say. Right? Well, there would be some karmic lessons as well here, because Rahu in the ninth house teaches that, blind faith does not work. One must find personal truth instead of a kind of borrowed beliefs. So real spirituality comes from, inner experience rather than just a blind rituals alone, right? Real spirituality should come from inner experience. That is the Rahu's teaching here, right? So do not follow some blind belief system. Follow your inner experience. That is a karmic lesson that Rahu wants to teach. So if you observe, there's a Upanishad called Kadha Upanishad. So in that, you just read the story of Nachiketa. I will explain you that story in some other video. But the karmic lesson, I feel that that particular story is very much, very much in alignment with Rahu in the uh, ninth house. See, he questions Yama itself, the Lord of Death, about the nature of the soul. He refuses to accept half truths. That is the Rahu's energy in the ninth house, right? Seeking truth beyond tradition. That is Rahu in the ninth house. Just the story of Nachiketa, right? It's very much in alignment with Rahu in the ninth house energy. Then you may ask, what are all the remedies that one should follow if Rahu is working negatively here? See, since Rahu creates confusion and obsession, and wherever he sits in that particular area, as he is sitting in the ninth house, of course, in the ninth house related matters, he would create some confusion and obsession. So you should follow some remedies, right? So the first remedy I would say is you should focus on your discipline, right? And also respectful acceptance of wisdom is very much important in your life. You need to respect your father and guru kind of figures, right? See, even if there are differences, consciously maintain some respect. Serve your father or any elderly mentor in your life. Offer water to uh, you know you can say sun god, right? And also help your father. So this balances Rahu's rebelliousness with some humility, I can say. And there is, another important thing is, whenever a person has Rahu in the ninth house, the first advice one should give to that person is the person should follow a spiritual discipline. So instead of blind rituals, choose one meaningful spiritual practice, a kind of meditation or chanting mantras or yoga, right? And the person has to chant Rahu mantra every day 108 times. So that is the most important thing. If not every day, at least on Saturdays, he should chant. So this can calm the Rahu's restless mind. And then a person has to do some kind of charity and service. The person has to donate black sesame seeds, mustard oil, or blankets to the poor on Saturdays. Help the foreigners, travelers, or even students, right? Because see, Rahu rules foreignness, and ninth house also rules students, as higher grade students like PhD students. So charity helps release all this karmic debts linked to Rahu, you can say. And you need to strengthen your Jupiter, because Jupiter is generally is very much is as an expert in the ninth house areas, right? Ninth house related energies. Jupiter is a natural karaka of ninth house. So, and Rahu often tries to block Jupiter's blessings also. So you need to strengthen your Jupiter by wearing yellow clothes on Thursdays. If your Jupiter is functionally benefic. If it is functionally malefic, better don't wear yellow clothes on Thursdays. But if you know that your Jupiter is functionally benefic, then definitely you should wear yellow clothes on Saturdays. That gives you more Jupiter's energy, right? If your Jupiter is malefic, then of course you need to donate some turmeric or chana dal or yellow fruits to the poor, so that you can reduce the malefic impact of Jupiter. And then you need to respect your teachers at any cost. Whenever you encounter a spiritual leader, you need to respect the person, and also follow some ethics in your life in order to avoid the problems that Rahu in the ninth house can bring. And travel not just for money or adventure, but with some spiritual intention. Whenever you're traveling, you do this one. You better have some spiritual intention. Then your travel would result much more success. Then you need to visit ancient temples. Any ancient temple you better visit. That's a good thing. Or if you belong to some religion, based on your religion, you can visit gurudwaras or mosques or monasteries, right? So that's a good thing for you. This channels Rahu's energy better, right? So it purifies. So basically, I would say Rahu in the ninth house is like a restless student in the university of Dharma, the belief system. So it questions and also it rebels, and it often tries to take some shortcuts, right? So, but if it is guided properly, as Rahu expands the ninth house energy, it can lead to some unique spiritual realization, or it can lead to some good foreign connections. It can lead to some very good unconventional wisdom. So remedies would really help here. Overall, this is a kind of, it's not a very bad placement at all. Thanks for watching this video.